Well, because we're not on yet. We're on now. Hey, everybody.
Hey everybody.
We're running a little
Hi,
bit.
everybody.
Running a little bit late because I spilled my entire drink onto the floor in front of me. So Mike had to quickly go and remake my drink. But
Fastest Paloma
we
I've
learned
ever
a
met.
lesson that straws in this kind of a glass. I'm gonna hit that straw and the whole thing's gonna topple. That's what we learned.
She did hit it.
That was a good tie classic. It was a classic Davison move. But hey, we're back. We're here. We're live. Happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Day.
Thank you. Happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to everybody.
Yeah, thank you.
And
No.
okay. And one of mine is in the first one in the chat too.
Yes.
Ooh,
yes.
you win.
Yes,
you win.
yeah.
You win.
Anytime Susanna is in the chat, it's a win for me.
My
Go ahead.
no, go for it.
I was just saying, I need to teach Frodo how to text so he can pop in the chat as well.
Yeah.
All right. Are we ready?
Yeah, I think we're ready. Are you ready? You're leading this show, so let me give. God, you always just start randomly, and then when I'm editing, I'm like, where is it?
Do we need a moment, a clicky
Yeah,
clack
do a
moment?
little moment. Okay, you ready?
Let's see what. Oh, ready? When the quill enters, I don't know what it's called. Enters the holding area. That's the clicker.
Okay.
We actually
Ready?
have a clicker right
I know
there.
we have one, but no,
Yeah,
like
I
this.
know.
I like the quill because
And now you get the slow motion and click.
Hi everyone, welcome to another edition of Cosmos. Cosmos is always on Mike,
I'm Liz.
I'm Brandon.
and today we're talking about one of my favorite astronomers, Fritz Zwicky.
Zwickster, the Wickster.
We did it. We finally did his wiki.
It only
I
took
feel-
5 to 6 years.
I feel like we've done
Well, you
it
know
already,
what?
but
I looked at our
you
list.
looked at our list. Okay,
and
okay, it wasn't in there.
I noticed that, and I thought we did one on this dude as well, but we don't have one on Einstein. And
We have one on Einstein? Oh.
No, we didn't do one on Zwicky. Now we have talked.
Yes,
about
we've
them.
talked about them.
Oh.
Okay, so probably embedded into.
Oh.
Yeah,
episodes.
if you could make like a montage episode of all the times you mentioned Wiki, we have a whole episode on the guy.
Oh, we probably have
Sure.
two. It's probably a two-parter. So, all right. So that's who we're going to talk about today, and so we'll just dive right into it. And Brandon,
So
what are you drinking?
well, first of all, I am finishing off what's called the SN 1898.
Hey.
And that's just a designation for supernova 1898, which is when Zwicky was born.
Yep.
Because he was quite something of a supernova himself.
Very good year.
Yeah, yes, he was. All right. Oh, well, you have to
It's not
drink
time
it.
yet. It's not. It's not.
No, we're not there. But first of all, I'm finishing off some solid Thai tea. It's quite delectable. And then waiting in the wings is, of course, just an old-fashioned with a fancy cup from Prague. I don't know if you can see all those outlines.
Hey, that's cool.
That's cool.
But what is actually in the Supernova 1898?
It's an old fashioned.
Yeah, so it's rye and straight whiskey.
Oh, he said it was
So
an old fashioned?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Oh,
two kinds of whiskey
I thought
in
he
there.
said that it was his waiting in the wings
he
drink.
did, and then he said a classic old fashioned.
Oh, okay, got you.
Yeah,
No.
two different kinds of whiskey, peanut sugar, some bitters in there. You know,
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, classic.
Classic.
What you drinking?
I'm drinking the Mount Paloma Observatory because
oh,
it's a Paloma.
Yeah.
And Mount Palomar Observatory will be discussed.
Yeah, we'll bring it.
Well, it'll
That's
come
good.
up anyway. But anyway, it's a
That's-
Paloma.
That's it.
So it's tequila, grape.
Oh, a special kind of tequila.
It is
though.
tequila, orange infused tequila from tequila that has been soaking in orange slices
for a week.
for a week now.
So those orange slices
Ooh.
are
Grapefruit,
they got a bite.
Grapefruit juice, simple syrup.
Sugar, lime juice, and grapefruit juice, and the tequila orange mix. Yep. All right. So I am drinking a drink that I have never had. So we'll see what this is. What this is like.
Oh,
This is well, I'm calling it the Nuclear Goblins, which
That's
we'll
so
get into.
cool. That's such a good name.
oh, that's a good band name.
nuclear goblins.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But in real life, it's called a Red Raider. And
Oh, this is the recipe I sent you.
yeah, and so it's got bourbon, lemon juice, Cointreau, but we don't have any. I thought we did. We don't have any. So the poor man's substitute is triple sec.
There we go.
So I feel like there's something else in it. I can't quite remember, but Cointreau, the bourbon, lemon juice, grenadine, yes, to give it the red. Thank you. And I also put in some little silver sparkles, which have migrated to the top. And
all right, here we go.
Survey says,
yeah, that's refreshing. That is very refreshing.
Nice. Is it a good summertime drink?
Yeah, that's a good summertime drink.
All
That's
right.
summertime drink.
Oh yeah.
That is a
It's
summertime
got like
drink.
a little tart, which I'm thinking is from.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting it to be as tart as it is, but
yeah, that's nice. I would never think that was a bourbon drink.
nope,
Yeah.
at all. It doesn't.
Yeah.
It doesn't have that bourbon feel to it.
No. Got
Anyway.
that bourbon feeling.
Follow us on all the things. Well, Susanna, when you come out, I'll make it for you. Follow us on all the things. Twitter, because I will not use the other one.
Okay, you don't have to say it every time.
Oh,
Just
yes,
say
I
it to
do.
Twitter.
Yes, I do, because I know that dude's listening. I want him to know.
I mean,
Drinking Cosmos for Twitter. For everything else, it's Cosmos. Follow us and rate us on all the things. Subscribe here with this if you're watching on YouTube. Don't forget to give us the thumbs up on it as well. Don't give us thumbs down. Thumbs up. And don't forget to join us in the hangover after all this Fritz Zwicky foolishness is done.
yeah.
Where I don't know what we're talking about, but we'll think of something. Also, check out Wildixia on Etsy. Wild, WILDIXIA, and really a lot of great cool stuff. Also, check out the Mr. Proctor Show. .com, and also Mr. Proctor Show on YouTube. And if you happen to be in the Council Bluffs, Iowa area, southwestern corner of Iowa, then check out the Rolling Bluffs Planetarium. You can find out more about their shows and what they have to offer at rollingbluffsplanetarium.com.
Every time I hear that website name, for some reason, I always want to finish it off with rollingbluffsplanetarium.com. Every time. I think it's coming.
Well, when you leave the show.
Just that old school commercial
All right. Also,
cadence.
if you don't have time to listen to 2 hours of us just going crazy,
rambling nonsense.
yes, then and 10 minutes is more your style. Check out The Shot, where we have little shot-size episodes of
shots
topics.
of astronomy. Shots of astronomy.
Shots of astronomy.
Take some
we just
shots
shoot
of
down your
astronomy.
gullet. Yeah. Boom. But don't drink too much.
Well, you don't want to run into a boar gullet. Ooh, deep Star Wars take.
Speaking of which, we have rules. We have rules. If a puppy barks, please take a drink.
But our noise canceling is doing a pretty good
Yes,
job.
Doing a good
Very
job.
good now. So if you hear me shout, or make a choices, then take a drink.
If we make a Star Wars reference or a Lord of the Rings reference, then take a drink.
I got two out of the way.
There will at least be one Lord of the Rings reference in this. So, hey, Federico's with us. All right.
Hey.
Buongiorno.
All right. Let's go back in time. Let's do this.
Doodaloo, doodaloo, doodaloo.
Sorry, I'm just
Oh,
cute.
hold on.
I was looking for Federico's chat and I didn't see it.
He just did.
Susanna wants to make a rule.
symbols.
Susanna, put the rule in chat.
Oh gosh, no! If this is a can of worms, we do not want to open. We don't.
We do have the
you
right.
remember our early
We
days?
do have the right to. I don't know.
Just
All right.
saying.
I mean, I only have one drink, so I can't get too wild here.
All right. February 14th, 1898. And
Oh no! I'm
No.
not. No, I'm not doing that rule. No, absolutely not. It's
the
when
rule
I
is when I
chat.
chat anything, take a drink. No, because you'll just
Chatting
be
every
chatting
single
all
letter
kinds
of
of
it.
stuff. You'll be like, I have a cat. And then next one will be,
Yeah.
I gotta work this week.
Yeah,
I don't
we're
want
on you,
to.
we're on you. All right. 1898.
In Varna, Bulgaria.
Ooh,
Yeah,
Bulgaria.
in a house, not even in a hospital. And in fact,
house.
in a house, you can go to the house.
Oh, born. I
He
was
is
like,
born.
What's in the house and not a hospital?
Yeah, he was born in Varna,
Okay,
Bulgaria.
I feel like most people in those days,
That's
because there
true
weren't really
and fair.
like hospitals common.
Fair. And there's actually a
thing.
plaque on the
house.
side of the building. It said Fritz Zwicky was born here.
A baby popped
Yep.
out of vagina in this very house.
He was born
Baby's
to
Zwicky.
he was born to Fridolin Zwicky.
Fridolin?
Fridolin.
All right.
He was a prominent industrialist. He served
Right when he was born?
What?
He just came out right when he was born as an
No,
industrialist?
Fridolin's Wiki. Come
Oh.
on, man.
His dad.
Oh, okay.
no.
Oh, is that his dad's name?
His dad, yes.
I thought that
Yeah.
was his mom's name.
No, we'll get to that.
Oh, okay.
No, and really quick, Fridolin's Wiki sounds like a name you just make up on top of your head when you're
Yeah.
trying to be a disguise. What's your name?
Fridolin's
Fridolin's
Wiki.
Wiki. Yes.
They call me the Fridster.
That's why I said he was born to. All right, so Fridolin Zwicky, I can see where you might think that was his mom. But anyway, Fridolin Zwicky was a prominent industrialist, and he served as a Norwegian consul in Varna, Bulgaria. He was Swiss. That's gonna come into
It's
play here in a
important to the
minute.
story that he was Swiss in Bulgaria.
Swiss and Bulgaria, but also representing the Norwegians for some
So then
reason.
he was blonde,
He was
I
yes.
assume.
His mom is Franziska.
Francesca?
Yep, and she was
Franziska?
Czech.
Oh,
And that's really about all we hear about her.
that's all we know. All right.
Fritz. Oh, do we have to take a drink?
No, he's just...
No,
rough.
that was a cough.
Oh, Fritz. Fritz was the oldest of 3 kids. He had a brother and a sister. In 1904, so we're gonna jump 6 years
Okay.
because there ain't anything else.
my
He is
jumping in
sent
time.
to live with his paternal grandparents in Glarus, Switzerland, to study commerce.
Wait, so
Oh.
he's what? How old is he?
6.
6?
Wait, he's
To study
6?
commerce?
He
Yep.
went to his to live with his grandparents to study commerce at 6 years old.
Yep.
Really?
Yep.
I'm
How'd that
sure
go?
he's
Well,
really
we're gonna
excited
find
by
out.
commerce at 6 years old.
So obviously he did not stick with commerce, or we would not be talking about him on this podcast.
What?
His interest did shift to math and physics, and he went to Swiss Federal Polytechnic, where he received a
SFP.
PhD. That's what we call it today, but at the time it was a Doctor of Science Naturale, so natural science.
Naturally a doctor of science.
From he got it from there in 1922. So, can anybody else tell me who went to Swiss Federal Polytechnic?
Was it the other guy that we haven't done an episode on yet?
Yep,
Einstein?
Einstein. Einstein graduated from there in 1900, so 22 years earlier.
We both get gold stars.
Yep. And it's called EHT or ETH.
A little too early. A little too early in time.
Yeah, that's great. I already forgot the question that I asked, and so I was like, Neil Armstrong, what?
Yeah, and they're also on delay because...
All right. So a few years pass, and in yep.
Yeah, few is not the full time jump, but
So in 1925, he immigrates to the U.S. and works with
Wow.
Robert Millikan. This
I
is
don't
at
know who that
Caltech.
is.
I know. I'll get into it.
Okay, thank you.
All right. So
I don't know people.
every undergraduate of physics knows about Robert
Which
Millikan
you would
because you have to
are.
do. You have to do his experiment.
Oh.
Yeah, I think an experiment, by the way, which he won a Nobel Prize for
Does it have
in
anything to do with like
1923.
pelicans?
Pelicans?
Millikan's pelicans.
That'd be great if it was. No, it has to do with oil.
Oh, because the Millikan pelican experiment.
the oil. Yeah, of course.
So, what I always thought it was crazy that as an undergraduate, we would do an experiment that led to a Nobel Prize for somebody. And it's called the
but you
Millikan
don't
oil
get
drop.
it because you do it.
It's called the Millikan oil drop experiment, and what it does is you basically put a charge on a little drop of oil and you make it float. And
What's he accused of? Father's Day jokes.
and so if you can make it float,
Timing.
if you make it float, you know how
wait.
much charge. I mean, hold on. You know how much voltage it takes to make it float. Well, you can tell exactly how much charge is on that oil drop.
Professor, how do they add a charge? What is this charge? How is this charge added?
You
Is
just
it
add
like a
electrons
little?
to it. Yeah, I can't remember how you add the electrons.
Is
but
it
you add
like a
the
tube
electrons.
full of electrons? You just drip them on,
Yeah, so
an
you-
eyedropper of electrons?
Yeah, you
just
just
dripped on that oil?
Every good physicist carries an
Is it
eyedropper of
lasers?
electrons.
Is it?
Yeah, I can't remember how they put the charge on it, but you put a charge on it, and then you can make it basically float. And from that, you know
That's
how
magic.
much voltage it takes
That's
to do it,
magic.
and from that you can figure out what's called the elementary charge. So it is the charge of an electron, of a single electron.
Take that back in time 500 years. Just explode
They'd be like,
people's
"Witch!
minds.
It's
yeah,
a
yeah.
witch!"
Oh, well, yeah, you'd be stoned to death for sure.
We can go in the old Connecticut Yankee King off his court.
yeah.
Similar situation there.
So anyway, Zwicky goes to America, and
Zwicky goes to America.
Zwicky goes to
The
America.
streets are paved of cheese. Sorry, different movie.
And he works with Robert Millikan at Caltech. He had an office right down from Robert Oppenheimer.
Oh.
Did
Yeah.
they get along, Mike?
Well, no, because there is a quote that you just know is for Robert Oppenheimer later on. Yeah, we'll get into
Oh,
his
ooh, I love a little bro drama.
his ability to work with other people was tough. Yeah, so
He's a
because
low level. He's a low level.
Maybe because he was sent to live with his grandparents to study commerce at the age of 6. I don't know. I'm just saying.
here are some of his career highlights. He coined the term supernova while fostering the concept of neutron stars. 5 years later, Oppenheimer publishes a paper announcing neutron stars.
And
Oh,
quick
shit.
note about that: Oppenheimer did not once mention Zwicky in that paper or in the notes, despite the fact that of course, Zwicky figured it out 5 years earlier, and they were down the hall from each other.
Yep.
Ooh, I can see
So
why
it's not like
maybe,
Oppenheimer didn't know about him.
I can see why Zwicky maybe doesn't like him for that.
Yep. And I have a few quotes from Zwicky kind of there
It's
at
fun.
the end.
It's fun.
He was appointed professor of astronomy at Caltech in 1942. He was research director and consultant of Aerojet Engineering Corporation. I do it. All right. He was a staff member at Mount Wilson and Palomar Observatory.
Hey.
Cheers.
He developed some of the earliest jet engines and holds 50 patents.
50.
50.
Wow.
But, and I didn't know about this. He is called that? He's called the father of jets. All right.
So happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's
Yeah.
Day.
And I didn't know about this part, though. He invented the underwater jet. So, when you see, like, Navy
like-
SEALs
Oh.
doing
that,
a little
that
thing,
handheld thing that they
Yeah.
are scooting along with that
He-
looks real fun. You're just like,
he invented that long time ago, 1950.
So not the jets and hot tubs that give you a nice little back massage. That's a different thing.
yeah, that's a different underwater jet.
I don't know. It might be one of his patents. Who knows?
I want to ride on one of those. It'd be really fun.
Yeah. So he did a bunch of other shit too. So let's just kind of dive in to some of the ideas that he had that were.
Take a ride on the underwater jet.
Yeah.
That was the
So-
underwater jet sound.
Yeah.
So every time I see like Navy SEALs now, like in those like shows that like that some action show we might watch, and there's like the guys with the guns underwater, and they're on the. I'm going to think of Zwicky because I
Okay.
didn't know he did it.
Okay, hold on. I'd have to stop us real fast. I just noticed what Jack's drink is. I haven't been looking at chat, and he made an Apfelschorle. It's a 50-50. I assume this accent. I don't know why I said it that way. It is a 50-50 apple cider and sparkling water with cinnamon stick to stir the ice. Oh my gosh.
Delightful.
Nice.
I never would have thought of that combination. Sounds wonderful.
Okay.
Anyway.
Yeah, it sounds really good. Sounds really
Yeah, so you can imagine having an underwater jet going through the Apfelschorle.
good. Hey Jack, when you put something like that in chat, you need to then phonetically spell it, like in parentheses.
No, it's more fun when we butcher it.
Yeah, but Federico's listening this time.
Federico is fully aware of how we butcher his language, or how I butcher
we're
his
so sorry.
language.
That's
And he
probably
still
not even
keeps
Italian.
coming back.
It's probably just butchering any language.
Oh, I was gonna say it's like a German.
It
Apfelschorle.
does sound a bit
Apfelschorle.
German. And I think of like fruits like apples. I think
Yeah,
that's
apple.
kind of a German
it's
thing.
like an apple churl.
Anyway,
Sparkling water.
so some of the ideas he had:
Yes.
supernovae.
Well, just the plural of what he already thought of?
No. I mean, we already knew about supernova. We already knew about guest stars and things like that. But in 1934,
Okay, that's fair. Yeah.
in 1934, Walter Beta, more on him later. And Zwicky.
Never could make the alpha.
What?
Never could make the alpha.
Nope. Coined the term supernova and said that they were to transition between normal stars and neutron stars.
Oh, well.
This is in 1934. Oppenheimer will have a thing to say about that later. But also, they were responsible for cosmic rays. And, and so it is a big deal. It's the first time that we are talking about what supernovas do. As transition from, say, like a normal star like Betelgeuse.
How this transition is happening?
What?
How this transition is happening?
Well, yeah. And just 1 year before, 1933, the neutron was discovered. So we've really only known about a neutron for a year. and Beta and Zwicky are like, all right, we're going to put it in the stars. And,
also, I'd like to point out, Federico says, by the way, just to be inclusive versus Catholics, Father's Day in Italy, Spain, and Portugal, etc., is the 18th of March. So happy late Father's Day.
We can talk about the origins of the U.S. Father's Day, The Hangover, because I had a fun NPR thing I listened to. Tell all about it.
Oh, that's going to be fun. Okay, I'm excited for that.
All right. Anyway, Zwicky found...
No, because Federico was like, why are we talking about Father's Day now? It already happened.
All right. Well, let's talk about Zwicky now.
All right, fine.
All right. So... Zwicky found by himself 120 supernovae by himself.
Wait, with just binoculars?
I'll get to that in a second.
What?
He also found one more
telescopes.
with Paul Wild. So he has 121 supernovae that are attributed to him. That was a record.
That's wild.
That was a record that stood until 2009 when it was passed by Tom Bowles. All right.
Fucking Tom. I knew he could do it.
Zwicky used his eyes to look for them on photographic plates. But Bowles, what did we do? What did you do?
Me?
Yeah, you erased something.
Don't worry about it.
All right, anyway, Zwicky used his eyes looking at photographic plates, whereas Tom Bowles used modern technology to scan the images to see
modern
supernova.
Technology tends to win.
Yeah, so I'm not going to, downplay Tom Bowles' his accomplishment.
Who has 149 supernovae under his belt.
Yeah, so...
Damn. Is he the one in Australia?
I thought the same thing. No.
Okay.
He's Scottish.
Okay.
But Zwicky did... he manually looked at...
these things aren't easy to find.
Nope.
I mean, it's not like it's...
So him and Beta in the 1930s come up with the idea of supernovae, and as a process from normal stars to neutron stars.
As they process.
Yep.
As they explode.
Going, yes. And keep in mind, at this point, we have not even found a neutron star. A neutron star is 30 years away in the 1960s with pulsars. And so at this point, it's just a theoretical thing. But he and Beta, but really Zwicky, just had this crazy, at the time, a crazy-ass idea that this explosion would compress matter to such a point where you get a neutron star.
Yeah, but the physics backs it up.
The physics backs it up.
Physics backs it up. To physics.
To physics. Now, the process
Applied math is all it is.
The process is not for neutron stars. The process is not the explosion that does it.
Yeah,
it's gravity that...
it's the after the explosion.
Yeah, the gravity basically shoves the electrons into the protons.
And makes them neutrons. See, if we all come together, it's peace and harmony, neutrality.
Well,
Let's
the
become
Swiss
together
are,
real fast.
the Swiss are really good at neutrality. So I guess coming up with a neutron star would be a very Swiss thing. Anyway, gravitational lenses. He also came up with that.
Not a literal lens.
Yeah, and so
Oh.
in 1937, Zwicky hypothesized that galaxies and galaxy clusters could serve as gravitational lenses. And so the light from a more distant galaxy goes out into the universe. It encounters maybe a very heavy galaxy between us and it that we can't see.
Those big boys.
Yeah,
That's star
and
formation. Big
the
boy.
light bends that galaxy bends the light with its gravity, and you'll see. Well, what we know is arcs now, gravitational lensing arcs, and everybody was just like, oh.
We should have done pictures.
What?
We should have done pictures for this episode.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, well.
Just imagine the flashlight being bent.
Yeah.
You'll see it. You'll see in like the in these images. It's like this
It's
duplicate like stretch of a galaxy on either side.
It's like looking through an image through a bubble.
Yeah,
almost,
and
right?
how it
Yeah.
warps it around the bubble. It's just like that.
Yep. And of course, he was ignored by astronomers. They're like, no.
Why?
The problem with Zwicky is that you don't always know what's a legit idea and what's not a legit idea.
Oh, it's just Zwicky with his crazy harebrained ideas again.
And no one liked him.
Yes, and so he was ignored.
Right.
And in 1979, the twin quasar QO957 plus 561 was discovered, and Zwicky was proved right. He had died 5 years earlier.
Oh no!
So he did not get to see. Yep. But what he's probably, at least, for a lot of people, best known for is dark matter.
I feel like maybe he had enough ego that he knew he was right. He didn't need to see it.
I think,
Like
yeah.
an Einstein situation with the eclipse.
Probably.
Yeah. He probably was like died and like, I know it. I'm right. They're gonna find it. No, I don't need to see it.
I think he's from the future. Why is your phone? All right. Anyway.
It was your mom. It's a text from your mom.
Oh, what's she having?
But also, Liz is going to randomly leave to go set the oven for some ribs later on.
I will.
And I'm excited to see pictures for that later.
I will.
All
Yes,
right.
I am. We are cooking ribs.
And all right, so one of the more famous things that he's known for
Yes.
is dark matter. And so this is something that we've talked about. We talked about it a month ago with my top 10, what I thought were top 10 discoveries. This was number 2 on the list, and it started with Fritz Zwicky.
It matters.
It does matter. No, I'm not going to.
What happened?
No, it was just nothing. All right, in 1933.
I think he thought of a joke that he didn't want to share.
Yeah, no.
You tell me later, because I thought of one as well that is not appropriate.
Yeah, we're probably thinking the same joke.
All right, we'll tell it to each other later. And then
All
we'll
right,
see
in
what happens.
1933, Zwicky observed the Coma cluster and found that galaxies were moving faster than they should.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I know,
Uh-oh.
right?
What's going on there?
You just got to give him tickets. Let him slow down.
You gotta...
I'll teach him.
So basically, the
Speeding cameras in the universe.
the angular velocity of everything was just too much, and so based on the amount of light that
They're like, wait a
galaxy
minute.
was putting out.
So there's got to be something causing this acceleration of motion.
Yeah. So he was the first to use a thing called the viral theorem, which allows for the calculation of the average kinetic energy of a complicated system under the influence of gravity, and it's also related to the potential energy of the system. So what you can do with that is you can relate how fast things are moving to the mass of the galaxy or the galactic cluster or whatever this system is.
Okay, so in Elden Ring terms, it's like when you have the boss that's really, 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 really fat, but he moves so fast. Like, that should not be possible.
Yeah,
So he's got some dark matter inside of him. It's the same situation.
Also, can I also just point out that the what was that term you?
Viral theorem.
Viral theorem. Viral theorem sounds like the playbook on how to get big on TikTok.
Yes. Yeah.
The viral theorem.
Um,
Go viral in 7 days or less.
so basically,
I just hate this one trick.
Fat Boss checking in.
Chicken's all the way down.
The average speed of galaxies in a cluster depends on the total mass of the cluster. The more mass, the faster you have to go, or you'll fall into the center. From the speed of the galaxies, Zwicky is able to calculate the mass of the cluster. He then used the light from the...
Brandon's.
No, like you're saying this so nonchalantly, but this is such a huge thing to discover and figure out.
Oh, I know.
This is like a lot of crazy, weird shit and math.
And like the neutrinos discovered the year before, and they did the neutron stars, and now they're talking about these galaxies and the speed and the mass when we didn't really know that those were existed until like 10 years before this.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
and this was like this, and then he's just a curmudgeon. Is one of the reasons why.
Curmudgeon is underselling it, Mike. I'm excited to get to that section.
A cantankerous.
But
ornery.
Here's the thing, though, with Zwicky, is that he didn't allow himself to be boxed in by what the establishment thinks.
Nobody puts Zwicky in a corner.
Yeah, and for me, it's a very punk rock thing, and he's very anti-authoritarian.
And got that punk, and it has that attitude as well. Like,
so is
that
the
fuck
name
you
of,
attitude.
Is the name of your next punk album going to be Zwicky Goes to America?
Yeah, exactly.
Or Nuclear Goblins.
I mean, that's the name of the band, though. That's solid.
I know. So, self-titled album.
Yeah, so... I mean, he was a punk astronomer, and literally and figuratively in some cases, and he just did not allow himself to get boxed in. Now, it did mean that he came up with some crazy ass shit,
but that's
which we're
important,
going to talk about.
though, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, the crazier shit that you come up with when you're an actual scientist, not some conspiracy theorist with a camera or something, but like when you're an actual scientist. I mean, I think that that's how science progresses, is when you have these people that are willing to think outside that box, and to come up with crazy stuff, even if it ends up being, not correct. Bunk, which they accept, then move on to the next crazy idea. But it's the crazy ideas are when one is like, oh shit, this is
I hope
actual.
My manager's listening to this. All my ideas, not all crazy.
There you go, right?
But
you got to come up with it to find it.
All right, let's just be honest for a minute. Supernovae.
Yeah.
Just that whole idea of what they came up with.
Yeah, exploding stars into
Nobel
dense
Prize
material.
worthy.
Yeah.
For the time.
Oh, yeah.
Gravitational lensing. If he discovered them, because Einstein predicted them. If Zwicky would have found it in 1937. That too, Nobel Prize worthy.
We didn't have the telescopes yet, though.
It reminds me.
Didn't really have the capability, no.
Yeah.
It reminds me of I said Futurama or Simpsons joke when they have Stephen Hawking on. We call it, Einstein lensing, and Hawking goes, no, we call it Hawking lensing. No, we call this Hawking physics. No, we call this Hawking supernova.
That sounds Simpsons. Well, no, it could go either way.
Dark matter. Completely Nobel Prize worthy, and not only should Zwicky have gotten it, Vera Rubin should have also gotten it.
Yes.
Both of them should have gotten it for dark matter.
So excited.
And so so like Brandon's saying, this is a phenomenal thing for 1933.
Yeah.
And all that, and so basically he's looking at a galactic cluster. He is, oh shit, that's in 13 days. No, wait a minute, what's today's date?
June 15th. June
That's in a week.
23rd is
real
Rubin's
soon.
first look. Oh my god.
And if you have a planetarium, check out the Domecast of this Thursday.
Hey, nice plug.
Pew.
Nice plug. So this is incredible stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really incredible stuff. But he noticed how fast these galaxies were moving. But when you add up the mass that's associated with light, basically from the stars, it didn't match the total mass of the galaxy. In fact, the total mass of the galaxy was about 10 times the light that you would get from the stars.
Which is significant.
It's very significant. And so he discovered this hidden mass, and he called it Dunkel Materie, dark matter.
I'm
Okay,
sorry.
so materie
Dunkel?
sounds majestic, but then you have the dunkel attached to it.
Dunkel?
Dunkel
Dunkel
Materie.
donuts?
Yeah, Dunkel Donuts.
That's what I thought of. Dark donuts.
That's materia I like to put in my body.
Dunkel Donuts. Yeah, Dunkel Materie. I mean, well, you gotta speak
Dunkel.
the
How's it spelled? How you got that spelled in there?
D-U-N-K-L-E.
Also, just like you would think it is.
Yeah.
Dunkel.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep.
Right?
I had to look at that word.
You know what? Maybe not the best in naming things.
No, those two words I looked at, I swear to God, 5 times after I put it in.
Dunkel.
Look. Yeah, Dunkel. All right.
Dunkel.
So he discovers Dunkel Materie. Oh my
Oh
God.
God, we don't need any language
Hey.
feedback. We know
Hey.
we're horrendous at languages. We're American. God, what do you think this is? We speak well? Jesus.
No,
Is it German?
It's
Dunkel?
we speak good. Please
Is it
get the
because
language
we're
right.
not? Is it because we're saying dunkel and not dunkel? Dunkle?
Hey,
Dunkel?
we have
Materie?
military parades in this country.
Oh God, don't even. We don't
Oh,
want to
look,
be associated
alcohol.
with that. We don't want to. Yeah, so do Russia and North Korea.
All right. So, but I mean, he was very prolific.
Hashtag no kings.
He was very prolific.
Guten Tagen. Oh, that was wrong.
He was very prolific, coming up with ideas, coming up with observations and stuff. And one of the things he did work on with Caltech, at least I think it is Caltech.
Yeah, own it. It's fine. We
Nah,
never claimed
I think it
100%
might be
accuracy
Caltech.
on this show on everything we say.
Well, I'm trying to remember who owns the catalog
it's
now.
the Cosmos part.
Yeah.
I mean, Caltech, that's probably the most reasonable.
He was at Caltech.
Right.
Yes.
Right. Oh, well, I know he was at Caltech. I think. Did you say Cal Academy?
No, Caltech.
Okay.
Caltech. The Science Center.
And so, while there from 1961 to 1968, he and colleagues published 6-volume catalog of galaxies.
Damn.
Wait,
yeah.
how many pages were each volume?
Well, I think it ended up being 30,000 galaxies.
Wow.
Yeah.
Which
And-
is nothing compared to how many there are.
Yes, I know, right?
And they don't even know that yet.
So
We got a pretty good idea.
Well, yeah. Okay.
the catalogs actually are still being updated
yeah,
today.
Yeah, because there's a fucking shit
Yeah.
ton of galaxies out there.
But the original galaxies are called Zwicky galaxies.
I didn't know that.
Yep.
Zwicky galaxies.
So the original ones in the catalog are called Zwicky galaxies. And with his wife, this is different, but with his wife
Zwicklaxies.
Margaretha, they published a catalog of compact galaxies.
Oh,
And
these are
it's-
ones you can take on the road?
Yep.
Yeah.
And it is called the Red Book, not to
Wait a
be
minute.
confused with the Red Book of West March.
How's
So
it go?
take a drink.
What's the... Oh,
Nice.
okay. I'm like, is that like a Nazi thing? What is that?
No, that's the book that the Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings are written in.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Oh.
And the red book's a different communist thing.
But I got the Red March, and from your reactions, I was like, context Lord of the Rings. All right.
Oh, but you'd also
I
did-
like this purse
Purse
galaxies.
galaxies.
Or yes, also compact galaxies. You know, little. I got
With the little-
I got a galaxy in my nose.
Got a supernova I got to cover up.
Yeah.
I got,
Little
I got a
red
black
giant.
hole I gotta
Yeah.
get.
Well, clutch galaxies as well. You know.
Oh, nice.
He also did come up with some crazy ideas.
Wait, we've already.
Right.
Also, again, more.
Well, but in this,
Oh, this is when
is
we
Billy
get. This is
As
when
Billy
we.
Mays would say.
this
But
next,
wait, there's more.
This is
yeah.
when we find out what nuclear goblins are, guys.
well, all right, but
Not
in a
yet.
second.
other than a band.
Okay. All right. So this, I did think about putting in crazy ideas, but it's not crazy. It's just wrong.
You know what? Wrong can be crazy.
Yeah, but it's
Crazy can be
also
wrong.
it's still used today. It's people still try to use it today, and it's a concept called tired light. There was
That's how I feel at
what?
the end of the workday.
What's that?
That's
feel
how I
beginning
feel.
of the workday.
Yes.
Beginning, end, middle.
So, in 1929, Hubble announced that galaxies were moving away from each other. He had actually discovered this in 1924, or thereabouts. But in 1929, it was actually published.
Why do they always fucking wait so long to fucking
I
publish
don't know.
this
You
shit?
Yeah,
gotta confirm things, and
All
it's
these
the 20s,
guys,
so...
most of these guys are waiting until their deathbeds until they're like, all right.
Well, he was not on his deathbed,
Publish
but
it.
he did wait till 1929, and meanwhile, he'd known about it for... It's like Newton. Newton knew about
They're just sitting
his
on their
stuff.
little eggs, just like.
Newton sat on it for 25 years.
Newton's a special case.
Well,
Yeah.
Newton's.
But Hubble sat on it for
And
5 years or so,
Zwicky.
then released it. Zwicky was skeptical that space was expanding.
Oh well.
See, at this time, though, even Einstein, the idea that the universe was
The
expanding.
amount of time it took us to get off of the whole Earth at the center of the solar system thing.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
reasonable that it takes us a
Centuries.
Yeah.
bit to accept things a little beyond our, where we are.
So Zwicky, he was skeptical that space was actually expanding because the rates measured at the time seemed too large. So he actually was looking at the data, and it wasn't
Wait,
based
the rates were too large.
the data that Hubble was getting, and so it seemed like the expansion was too much.
Like too much to be plausible.
Right.
Okay.
And so it turns out that Beta actually fixed that in 1956 with better Cepheid variable measurements.
And then he became an alpha.
And then he became a what?
An alpha.
Alpha, yeah.
He finally won the push-up competition against Wiki.
He did it.
So Zwicky proposed that reddening effect was caused by an unknown phenomenon. So he freely admitted, I don't quite know.
I know what it is.
That caused photons to lose energy as they travel through space. He said the most likely candidate was a drag effect, where photons transfer momentum to surrounding masses through gravitational interactions. He was wrong.
It's aliens.
It's aliens, yes. But the whole drag effect always makes me think like drag queens.
Yep,
Just
that's
drag
exactly what I
queens
thought
in
of.
space, just
Drag
stealing,
queens in space.
just stealing it.
I mean, I'm sure that there's something called drag
Like
queens in space
It's
out there.
time to sashay away off the next solar system.
So it's not really a crazy idea. It's just that he was wrong. He was wrong on it,
yeah.
and that's fine. It's fine to be wrong in science.
I mean,
And-
let's look at how long Aristotle was wrong. But I mean, at least he's thinking about it, right? That's the point. At least he's thinking about it. He's
Yeah.
like, what can explain this? What could it possibly be?
And this is like a weird time. So 29, so like 30 years before this, he could still be like a master of all sciences and make incredible discoveries in like 3 or 4 different sciences. So it's still kind of like throw your weird shit out and maybe it's going to be right time frame.
Yeah. Something's gonna stick on the wall.
Yeah. So here's crazy ideas.
Oh, these are the crazy ideas.
Nuclear goblins.
Fucking finally, yeah, nuclear goblins.
So this is a quote. This is a quote from Zwicky describing what they are.
Oh, okay.
A body of nuclear density, only stable under sufficient external pressure within a massive and dense star. So these really nuclear, like nucleus of an atom.
Just these little guys
densities.
that are like,
Yeah, and
and they're vibrating.
these are just kind of moving around in a star. Yes.
Oh, that's cool. Sorry, I just read more than notes. Keep going.
Yes. And then so a lot of pressure. These things,
Yeah.
nuclear pressures. This is a lot of density.
Yeah.
So when it gets to the outer edge of the star, where the pressures really kind of reduce, where the pressures reduce, that nuclear goblin explodes violently. Yeah, and is responsible. He said this is responsible for flares on stars.
Oh.
Well, no. It's not like a throwaway. Like, oh, that's all it was. No, like these flares are multiple times the size of planet Earth. They're magnificently
very
huge.
big. I'm just in my head this
And
whole
then-
time. I'm picturing gore for some reason.
I mean, you shared that with the last High in the Sky, the really cool
Yes,
CME
oh my
coming off the sun. It is
God.
like gore. It's stellar gore.
Yeah.
Gore, the band Gore,
Oh.
where they dress like goblins and shit.
Well, now it's like stellar gore.
So, but let's be honest. Okay, for us, it just sounds like just a funny kind of thing.
Oh, yeah.
But at the time, they didn't understand how these flares,
Yeah,
the
of course they
mechanisms
don't.
for these
Of course
flares.
they
I mean,
don't.
it's like when we talked about William Herschel. He thought sunspots were holes in the clouds of the sun to see cities on the sun. So really smart people got real dumb ideas sometimes.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Just trying to explain what they see.
Yeah.
They don't have the technology yet to really understand what it is. Or...
And I think only
It's
Zwicky
like understanding girls.
only Zwicky would come up with the name nuclear goblins. Every other astronomer
I mean,
would
that's
be like,
fun. It shows a
I don't
sense
know.
of humor. It shows a real, like, I don't know, just let's have fun with it, guys. Let's have fun with science.
All right, so if you have a telescope
All right?
Okay.
and you go out and you look
All
into
right.
the universe, the bane of astronomers with their telescopes is air
Clouds.
turbulence.
Fucking atmosphere.
Yeah, with
Get
its
rid
little
of here.
waviness,
Air to breathe.
making pictures of things out in
Especially when
space
it's hot
get
and
all
it's just getting all warbly.
warbly and stuff.
Jesus Christ. Keep
Well,
going.
Zwicky,
Stupid.
Fritz had to deal with that shit too.
Oh my gosh, and never
He didn't
ending.
have access to adaptive optics like we do today that can make those images clear. So he was like, I gotta do something. I gotta do something about this turbulent atmosphere.
Did he fucking just punch the fucking atmosphere in the face?
Atmosphere.
Yeah.
Did he call it atmosphere goblins?
That would be great. That would be great. So what he decided to do was he got like an intern.
As
He-
you do. Yeah, you always get the
He
intern.
opened the observatory.
Ooh, to
He
space.
aimed the telescope at something. I'm going to say M42, one of my favorite
Oh, okay.
clouds
Yeah.
of
The
gas.
Orion Nebula.
The Orion Nebula. He wants to take a picture, but that damn turbulence is messing things up. He gets his intern and goes, shoot a gun outside the observatory slit because that'll take care of the air turbulence.
What?
Yep.
This sounds the most American scientific endeavor.
Um,
But like, Zwicky knows. Well, he has an idea. It extends far beyond the range of a gun.
Did it
so like would it
work?
like incrementally improve?
there was no effect.
Is that his
Yeah,
idea?
I didn't think there would be
There was
effect.
no effect.
What? Because it's in the upper atmosphere. It's all happening up there.
Yeah,
it's
and
because
in
it's
fact-
warm and it's moving the air.
It
Did
probably
Zwicky
made it.
kill people?
it
Yeah, where'd that
maybe,
bullet come down?
maybe.
Yeah.
It
Hi, Mom. Welcome home.
it probably made things ever so slightly worse because of the turbulence of the bullet going through the atmosphere in the observatory.
Okay, I can't do anything.
Wait. When were wind tunnels devised? Like when was the first wind tunnel made? We see you put the strings on the object and see the wind behind it.
I don't know.
1965. No, that's too late. 1951.
Okay, but it's still okay. So he had a theory. He tried it out. Didn't work.
Yeah,
That is the most American solution.
it really is. From a Swiss dude too.
I know. That's what's shocking.
Well,
Hey guys, I got it. I'll just fire a gun at it.
but in
Fire a gun
Switzerland,
in the
though,
air.
I think like pretty much
Oh,
everybody has
calm
guns in
everybody down.
Switzerland, so it might be a Swiss thing to do
Oh,
too.
they're just nice and don't shoot each other? Is that
Yes.
what it is?
That's pretty much every other
Like they're
country.
taken care of just by their government. So
Yes.
like we don't need to kill anybody. We're
Pretty
fine.
much.
We got healthcare, we got food, we got education, we're good.
Another thing he came up with, artificial meteors, which I think is pretty cool. It's a wild idea.
Hey,
I mean,
let's
it's just
hear
like
it.
when one of our shit
Okay,
accidentally
so what
falls
he
back down
did
to
was
Earth
he
or when we bring
decided
it
to
down.
place explosive charges in the nose cone of a V2 rocket.
So that was done a couple years before.
It was to be detonated at high altitude, and it would shoot high velocity pellets through the atmosphere, creating
This
the meteor
sounds
shower.
real bad for birds.
Really bad for birds.
Not great
what
for
is-
birds.
what
Well,
is
unless
the
it's like really,
points?
I mean, if it's, we're talking real high.
Oh, we're talking
atmosphere.
above bird
But
level.
what's
Yeah.
what's the point of these artificial meteors? And they exploded and watch it
He
rain
just
down.
wanted to
What?
study them.
Look,
Alright,
look,
I
respect-
look,
I respect that.
You know, don't you ever go outside and go, huh? I wonder what it's like. It's like if shit is just falling
Well,
from the
all right.
atmosphere.
Well, here's the thing. Okay, so before you start exploding pellets into the atmosphere, what do you think causes meteors? Okay, so I mean, you could come up
Well-
with we could come up with a whole bunch of ideas.
I mean, it's when the little fireflies that are stuck up to the big bluish black thing get tired and fall down.
Okay, so how do you test that?
You fire something
don't.
up in the
You
air
take
and
it
watch
off
it
faith.
fall down.
Take it off faith.
Like Jonathan Archer says in his intro, you got to have faith at the heart.
All
So
right.
that's a Star Trek deep cut.
But we know, faith, science does not operate on faith. On hard evidence is what we want. And so...
And White Sox baseball.
And so, so maybe another idea might be somebody saying, hey, you know what? It's dust from a comet that burns up in the atmosphere. So how do you test that?
So it's basically the egg drop experiment almost. It's like, let's just throw some shit up in the air. And
pretty much.
Oh,
and
that's
so,
cool.
watch it
so
go
you
down.
you take a rocket up there, you blow it up, it's going to shoot all this shit out, and you can see if it burns up in the atmosphere the way that a meteor does. And so now you have an idea maybe, okay, obviously it's not pellets, but maybe it's something else.
Yeah. It's a comparative. It's just like we use comparative planetology.
Yeah,
How
exactly.
shit behaves on our world, and we compare that with other worlds. So it's just comparing that behavior to like, oh, here's what it looks like if something's entering our atmosphere and it gets burnt up. So that means something's entering our atmosphere and burning up.
So this isn't so much a crazy idea on, like
so he's not
nuclear
saying
goblins. It is a level. This is like just a crazy idea of an experiment.
So artificial meteors is the experiment, and not like there are fake meteors, everybody.
The first few attempts were failures. Did not work.
Oh,
for
he didn't
various
go high
reasons.
enough?
And on October 16th, 1957, though, Zwicky was successful. He fired some pellets. These were visible from Mount Palomar. So you can see it.
Empty, but
You can see it from the observatory.
that's fine.
It's also thought that one of the pellets in that particular explosion may have escaped Earth's gravity to become the first object launched into solar orbit.
Oh, solar orbit.
How would they know that?
Oh,
Do they count them? How?
So there's a very specific word you said there, solar orbit, because there's another object that same year, just 2 months before, that's thought to become the first object blown into orbits. So I just did a quick thing here because this is ringing a bell. On August 27th of 1957, there was a nuclear test, and during this test, a manhole cover came off, and we saw it for one frame. And so we quickly did the calculations and discovered that it traveled at 125,000 miles an hour. So if it was able to survive, it would become the first object in orbits.
Wouldn't they be able to find it?
But not solar orbits.
Yeah, it's solar orbit.
Wouldn't they be able to find this manhole thing or catch in orbit around us?
I mean, it
though?
would probably come down and burned up and light up or something.
All right.
Yeah, so
But that's why solar orbit was
Solar
big.
orbit. You
Key.
you're going around the sun.
speaking of solar systems,
Solar systems.
1948.
Solar systems.
In 1948, he was given a lecture, and he was like, you know what? If we wanted to, we could just maybe move some planets around to a more effective, more, kind of arrangement of the solar system that maybe we might want.
Like
What?
planetary gardening.
What?
Yeah, he did not say how,
What?
but he said, or at least what in my research. he didn't
Guys,
say
we need
how.
Mars to come in
Yeah.
like a few million
Yeah,
feet.
so we're going to put Earth here, we're going to move Jupiter over here, that kind of thing.
Hey guys, it'd be better if
and-
we had Jupiter positioned.
and this is
at,
like- this isn't
this
a
way,
lecture.
this is the best asteroid trajectory avoidance field.
Right, so this is in a lecture at Caltech, and people were like, do we take him serious?
No.
So,
That's when he'd go, uh-oh, some crackpot is coming out.
yeah, that's 1948. 1960s, he was like, fuck this moving shit around in the solar system. We're going to move the whole solar system.
Oh.
We're going to do that. How, you might ask? Are we going to move the
Yeah,
solar system
yeah,
to go
I
visit
do.
other stars?
I do ask this. The
He
entire
said-
wait, I'm sorry. We're moving the entire solar system to go visit other stars. That's the reasoning, not just to
Yep.
I don't know, move
We're
it.
gonna, yeah, we're just going to go to Alpha Centauri, hang out.
Cool. All right. The whole
No.
we'll take the whole
Whole
entire
no
solar
issues
system,
there.
not just a
No
spaceship
issues.
of
No.
people. The entire solar system.
So how would you do this? Well, what you do is you shoot a bunch of pellets. Again, what's it with the pellets? Anyway,
all they
you shoot pellets into the sun to produce an asymmetrical, there we go, asymmetrical fusion
like a big,
explosions.
like a
So-
big
a
sun
lot of
farts, like
fucking
a big sun
pellets.
farts.
Yes, exactly.
So the sun is just
That-
going to be
hold
farting
on.
the solar system
That
away
would
to another
change
star.
the sun's trajectory, and he thought that you could get to Alpha Centauri in 2,500 years.
Okay, first of all.
Why are we
Oh
yawning?
gosh.
Yeah.
I don't
Is this
know.
Is this boring to you?
No.
We're moving the solar system.
No. Oh, okay. How do you control the direction of the sun farts, for one? Second of all, the amount of pellets, and how big are these pellets? The amount of pellets you need. Oh my god!
I mean, Saturn has a lot of moons. Grab those, throw it in there.
No, you can't be sacrificing innocent moons that have no say.
Meanwhile, the sun's just not even going to feel it.
No.
Oh.
But, you know, I
It's a
mean,
big boy,
so
that sun.
Zwicky had some crazy
How
ass
many drugs
ideas.
did he do in his life?
How many drugs?
I mean, we're talking the 60s. Yeah. He
In
seems like
Caltech.
he
He doesn't seem like a drug guy to me, though.
I don't know. He seems
really
like he could
doesn't seem
partake
like
a
a
little
drug
bit.
guy.
Not in like a cocaine way, more like an LSD mushrooms kind of
Oh,
way.
yeah.
Yeah.
He had too much anger in him to have let go to enjoy the good Caltech drugs, right?
Yeah, pretty much. All right,
All
so
right.
he had some crackpot ideas.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
he
I'd
also had some Nobel
Yes.
Prize worthy
Supernova.
ideas, and with supernovae, gravitational lensing, dark matter, and all that kind of stuff, and it really, like I said, just boils down to the fact that he was not constrained by. In a larger point, not constrained by society and its norms and what.
He does what he wants.
Pretty much.
How he
yeah.
wants it when he wants it.
So, we are going to get into some of his quotes, but he was kind of a humanitarian. He did collect tons of books, unbeknownst to Caltech at the time.
Yeah.
That he was just collecting books?
Right.
Yeah.
So Caltech basically paid for this in
Oh.
a way, and he would order books on astronomy and other topics, and he would ship them to war-ravaged scientific libraries in Europe and Asia. So this is post World War II.
Oh, okay, yes. of
Yeah.
course.
So very concerned about
Should've
you
shipped
know.
them
Okay,
here.
we just had this war that ravaged the whole planet. Let's
Are you
get
ready
back
for
into
round 2?
science. Yeah. So
3? Yeah, 3. On the way.
he worked with the Pestalozzi Foundation of America, which supports orphanages.
And not only did he work with them, I believe, was a director for a little bit.
Yeah, he actually
Ooh.
got a gold medal from them for all the work that he did. It's like 1955 or something when that happened. He was critical of political posturing in the Middle East. So I mean, the real
I don't
question
know what
is,
to tell you
what
about
would you
that,
say?
Zwicky.
Yeah, what would he say today?
Oh, he'd be so fucking...
Yeah.
He has some quotes later on we'll get to about it.
He was critical of the use of nuclear weapons in World War II. Remember, his office was right down from Oppenheimer.
Wow.
He said, quote, "Hope for the world lay in free people of goodwill who work together as needed without institutions or permanent organizations." Damn communist. He died on February 8th, 1974 in Pasadena. He's buried in Mollis, Switzerland. He died 1 week before his 76th birthday.
Oh, wow.
And 5 years before gravitational lensing and all of that. He does have some honors and awards. In 1949, he received the Medal of Freedom from Truman for rocket propulsion during World War II.
Oh, okay.
1968, he became professor emeritus at Caltech.
Yes, Brandon.
It makes me happy that Zwicky very likely saw all of the original Star Trek series.
Oh, yeah. 19,
Good point. Good point.
How history is close to each other. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
1972,
That's weird, actually.
received a gold medal of the Royal Astronomical Society for distinguished contributions to astronomy and cosmology. Asteroid 1803 Zwicky is named for him. So Eric Briggs, that is
Did he
for
win
you.
anything for his underwater?
Yeah. He has a crater on the moon called Zwicky.
Excellent.
And the Zwicky Transit facility at Mount Mount Palomar, I believe, is named for him. And so there are some quotes.
And also, our Xbox, the Zwickster.
Yes, it is the Zwickster. Yes, it is. Add that to the awards. I think that is his most
Crowning
famous
achievement.
Crowning
Crowning achievement.
Yeah.
Fuck a Nobel Prize.
Okay, so here are some quotes for him. This has to do with religion.
Oh.
He was very much anti-religion. To base the unexplainability and the immense wonder of nature onto another miracle, God, is unnecessary and not acceptable for any serious thinker.
I like it. I like it. I like it.
He could also be very brutal, and this is where he this is where he's not liked, and this is why some of his ideas were just not taken seriously because astronomers and physicists, they're people, and
they get
if
their
somebody
feelings hurt.
and if somebody is an ass to you, which Zwicky could be, then you don't want to take them seriously, and so. I don't think I have it in here. Oh, no, I do. Actually, I do. So he would call astronomical journals. He said they were bulging with useless trash. This is shit other astronomers have worked on, and he's basically calling their work trash. He also called astronomers spherical bastards. No matter how you look at them, they are just bastards. For really, from any direction that you look at them, they're still a bastard. Okay, here's another quote. A shining example of a most deluded individual. We need only quote the High Pope of American astronomy, one Henry Norris Russell. I actually called him out. And so it.
Mike's reading something in chat.
Yeah, I was reading something in chat.
Would he still be your favorite if he was mean to you?
I don't know. That's a good question.
He was an asshole, but he was a good dude.
Yeah.
Right. Well, and also when you talked about the spherical bastards quote, he had a number of insults that he deemed to astronomers in a single paper. It was the 1971 paper, Catalog of Selected Compact Galaxies and the Post-Eruptive Galaxies. He called them spherical bastards in that paper, scatterbrains, useless trash, and disastrous for mankind, deluded, sycophants, and plain thieves in that same fucking paper.
Why are we putting this in a paper, first of all?
I think you stole a quote.
Me?
Yeah. Anyway,
you spherical bastard.
I'm going to just go through all of them anyway. But no, I think all right. So the reason why I like Zwicky is really because of the astronomy contributions he made. It's not. I don't like
the man.
I don't like people being an asshole to other people.
Right.
And so I don't like that. And Beta at one point, Beta thought that if he ran into Zwicky on the street, Zwicky would kill him. So that's
wow.
So
he
that
threatened to kill him multiple times. And they worked together.
Yeah.
Wow. Zwicky, chill out, man.
Yeah.
I will say that the spherical bastards quote is
solid.
It's
great.
Gold.
It's
gold.
Another one another quote. Today's sycophants and plain thieves seem to be free in American astronomy, in particular to appropriate discoveries and inventions made by lone wolves and nonconformists, talking about himself, for whom there is never any appeal to the hierarchies and for whom even the public press is closed because of censoring committees within the scientific institutions. So talking about thieves, he's talking about Oppenheimer.
Oh, with the neutron thing?
Among other things. We note that again and again, scientists and technical specialists arrive at stagnation points where they think they know it all, which is not fucking wrong. That is not wrong. I can tell you, prior to 1900 with Planck, physicists thought that they had figured it all out. And
we did it, boys.
Except for a few little things.
Good job.
We did it.
Man, physics and biology, just categorize it.
So Walter Beta, who is German, was German. He's dead now. But anyway, he was German. Zwicky called him a Nazi during World War
Ooh,
II,
that's rough.
even though that was
Couple
not
times.
true.
Oh,
It was
that's
not true.
that's a bad insult at that time. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a bad insult now, but at that time,
They could not be in the same room. Their relationship had deteriorated so bad that they could not be in the same room with each other.
Oh.
Obviously,
It's like me and Liz.
they
Yeah.
reconciled it. They reconciled it in the end.
oh,
But
okay.
it was rough there for a bit. Jesse Greenstein, former chairman of Caltech Astronomy Department, said, quote, "I disliked him as a human being. He was vain and very self-centered. Zwicky had an enormous facility to produce radical new ideas, some of which proved to be correct. But a lot of us wish he had not been so rough in the process."
Mm-hmm.
Nah.
And so I think that pretty much describes how he is. But Stephen Muir, who basically is kind of does a lot of biography stuff for Zwicky. When researchers talk about neutron stars, dark matter, and gravitational lenses, they all start the same way. Zwicky noticed this problem in the 1930s. Back then, nobody listened.
Yeah.
And
That's a good end.
but then we have this whole quote. We have this.
Don't worry about that. You're good.
All right, and so that is Fritz Zwicky, and like I said, he is one of my most famous favorite astronomers because
And famous.
well, he is famous, yes, because he just came up with some crazy ass shit, but then he also had some real Nobel worthy ideas, and like everybody, very complicated dude. He's just a cantankerous old bastard, and I think he would be completely fine with somebody calling him that. But
He's just a little nuclear goblin.
Nuclear Goblin, Fritz Zwicky.
So that is our look at Fritz Zwicky. Finally, I get to put him down on the list. And,
Nice.
and by the way, I meant to say that Major Photon is 4.123 quintillion skittles away. As
Major
of right
so
now.
many.
Yeah, as of 1 p.m. Pacific time today.
Wow.
Yep. And join us in 2 weeks. Where we will have a high in the sky for July. On June 29th of this year. Then we have to figure out episode 136, and then we'll figure out when we're going to do episode 137.
Let me fix this really quick.
Oh boy.
We're fixing something.
Oh boy.
There we go. The future episodes are 2023, and I wish we can go back in time, but...
Wait a minute, what?
The future episode also 2023 at the end of the year.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay. Well, I said 2025, right? Anyway, I
Yeah,
thought...
I'll say that episode 136 will be a Brandon episode.
And everybody, check out Ron's YouTube, the Mr. Proctor Show. He
The
did the
Coopcast.
Coopcast. I know, I noticed that. I started watching a little bit of it before we did the show. I was like, oh, Ron's doing the Coopcast.
that's so cool.
So check that out, everybody. Because it's chickens all the way down at the end of the day. No matter what Zwicky
All the way
got,
down.
it's chickens all the way down.
And Zwicky's probably doing something down there with him, too.
Chicken
Calling them
Zwicky.
spherical bastards.
Spherical chickens.
Why aren't your eggs?
Spherical chickens all the way down.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right.
Close
So
it
join
out.
us in a couple weeks. And in the meantime, the world is on fire. It's crazy.
Wait, I thought it was a vampire.
The world is a vampire, yeah. Sucking all the joy out of everything.
Call your reps. No kings.
Proctor,
No kings. Yes.
Stay safe.
Cheers, everybody. See you in 2 weeks.
If you're with us now, stick around. We will be right back after various potty breaks and whatever breaks.
After these messages.
For The Hangover with Cosmos. So we will be right back.
It fell. Maybe.
Hello! We are back with the hangover with Cosmos. With Cosmos, I gotta practice.
What do you practice?
What are you
For
trying
when
to
we go
do?
the
British
UK.
accent?
Yeah. Oh, okay. First of all, I just want to start straight away with Federico's comment on any thought to share for Mel Brooks' announcement for Spaceballs 2 in 2027. And yes, I do have a comment on this. I cannot fucking wait. I knew this was coming. I didn't know when it was going to come, and this is a movie I would see in the theaters.
Do we know when in 2027?
2027.
My only thought is, don't fuck it up.
I don't think so. Josh Gad is involved, and I think that he has the
acumen
chops and comedy and theatrics.
I don't think they're gonna fuck this up.
To do well. Yeah,
I don't think it's
gonna be fucked up. I think it's gonna be beautiful, and I'm excited for it.
But that said, George Lucas certainly did fuck up Star Wars.
Yeah, well, Mel Brooks is not George Lucas. Do not compare the two.
Whoa! Let's back this up a second.
Welcome to the Hangover, everybody.
How did George Lucas fuck up Star Wars here? Because
I
I will remind you that now, 25 years later, the prequels are beloved. So he did sell Disney,
by
which
who?
fucks some things
A
up.
bunch of fucking
They're loved
Gen
by
Zers, younger millennials who don't know any better.
Was it Gen Z?
Yeah.
All right. So I watched Phantom Menace
horrendous.
recently. Phantom Menace is kind of trash except for a couple scenes. Attack of the Clones is trash except for a couple scenes.
The Darth Maul fight
Revenge
is
of
the
the
only
Sith.
good thing.
Which one?
The Darth Maul fight scene that you
And
love
pod
so
racing.
much.
Thank you very much. Pod racing and Darth Maul A+ cinematography. A+.
Yeah, see, Katie confirms Gen Z does indeed like the prequels.
Yeah,
The second one, honestly, you can take or leave it. But then the third one is great, of course, because about like a decade after the prequels hit, Dave Filoni started creating the Clone Wars animated series.
Okay, but that is not the prequels.
Oh, I disagree.
Well, the Clone
it's
Wars
woven into the prequels in every way, shape, or form.
But that is not the shitty ass movies that came out. Clone Wars is different. Clone Wars is good, and also not done by George Lucas, Dave Filoni, who is better than George Lucas.
Oh,
Anyway.
Revenge of the Sith. You know what going into the movie. You knew what they had to do. You knew where you were starting. You knew where they were going. They had to win.
And that's what we call from Shakespeare as dramatic irony.
Oh, Federico has a hot take. Unpopular opinion. Understanding Spaceball references is the only reason to see Star Wars.
Oh, Federico.
But you don't have Spaceballs without Star Wars.
Anyway, I just felt like it was just too much to do in Revenge.
Yeah, it just fell prey to the whole money making.
But I did like it. I enjoyed it. The only thing I could not stand and I wanted to throw my drink at the screen with was when
Jar Jar. Anytime.
No, Revenge of the Sith. This is Revenge.
Oh.
No Jar Jar.
Yeah, when Anakin.
Yes.
Well, he's Vader now at this point.
At the end.
He wants to know where Padme is.
Where is she? Is she safe? Is she all right?
Yeah.
I quote that all the time.
And basically, she's dead, whatever. And he does his whole Frankenstein.
No, that was a bunch of bullshit. So there's another moment that, in my mind, didn't quite ruin the great movie, but made me think, God, why did they add this in at the very end? So one of my favorite movies of all time is Arrival. I again watched this recently on the plane, and watching a movie on the plane is just as good to me as a theater because you're just sucked into it. There's nothing going on in the world. You bother on the plane for 6 hours. It's you and the screen, and you're immersed in it. So anyway, Arrival. If you have not seen Arrival,
hundreds of other people.
You don't realize that.
Theater, except you don't have popcorn. That's the only downfall. You don't have popcorn.
Yeah, but you got whiskey at least.
Okay.
Anyway, so if you've not seen Arrival, pause for a moment. But they say at the very end of it, Jeremy Renner's character is like, "Want to make a baby?" I'm like, no! It ruins the whole thing.
You know what? Everything has that. I mean, you know what? I like the episodes, what are the most recent ones? 8 through 9, 8 through 10, no, 7 through 9. I don't know, whatever the fucking numbers are.
Seven
What are we
through
talking
nine.
about?
I enjoyed those,
Star Wars.
but people feel the same way about those ones as they do the fucking prequels. So I get it. Anyway,
My issue with the sequels,
just
the
Leia
new
flying-
ones,
Leia
is
flying
there's
through
so
space.
much unexplained off screen. How did Palpatine come back? Who are the Knights of Ren?
Yeah.
Why is this important?
they had
Wait a
limited
minute.
time and a lot of money to make.
Palpatine comes back.
Yeah, he comes back. Palpatine.
Spoilers.
Oh,
The
I didn't
Dead
know about
Sea.
this.
okay.
I haven't seen it yet.
Anyway, we iced caramel latte.
No. So in this case, when there's a latte attached to it, I feel it's pronounced caramel.
Caramel latte instead of caramel
Or-
latte.
Or bear with me,
Caramel
or
latte.
a dunkel latte.
A dunkel latte.
If you don't get the reference, check out the episode.
Check out the episode of time.
Okay, so our main episode, we talked about the great, the cantankerous, the ornery, the cantankerous. I don't know. No, that's not a
The
word.
punk of
The
astronomy.
punk of
And
astronomy. Fritz Zwicky, one of Mike's all-time favorite astronomers. Not for his attitude necessarily, but also kind of for his attitude because he's very punk, but mainly for his
Very
astronomy.
punk.
science
I
that
just
he
didn't
did.
like the way he would.
And the way he treated other people was not very good. In fact, punks are pretty good about treating other people really nicely. Punks are really nice
Unless they Nazis.
and respectful, unless, well, okay.
Yeah,
fuck
but
any
quote,
Nazi
yeah.
is
Yeah,
a
fuck
bad
off.
Nazi.
To quote the dead Kennedys.
Yeah. So
That's a punk band, by the way.
Punks are a lot nicer than metalheads.
Well, yeah, I mean, punks tend to be a lot more inclusive now.
Yeah, metalheads not so much.
Well, I don't
Really?
Yeah.
know.
A lot of them
Oh.
seem to be like conservative and very Republican, which shocks me. And I'm like, why? And I'm like, oh no, it's because
Anger issues.
But the thing
I don't
is
know.
like I will wear a punk shirt going to a metal show.
and I will wear a metal show going to a metal shirt
Yeah,
going to a punk show
and-
because I feel too much like a poser if I wear a punk shirt because I don't really listen to punk.
I-
So then I'm like, I can't wear a punk shirt. I don't justify it. What if somebody asks me a question?
No, I don't think I've ever gotten any weird looks. But also, it's not like,
I'm sorry, but your punk
waving-
shirts are the best shirts, and you get compliments on them every time we go out anywhere. You get compliments on your shirt, you get compliments on your jacket, you get compliments on your sunglasses. Wherever
We
we
were
go.
at a random ass amusement park, and some guy stops Mike. Hey man, I really like your tattoo. Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
The black flags. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, everywhere we go, at some point, he gets complimented by somebody.
Yeah,
It's a thing.
it's true. It is true. It's so weird.
Yeah. And then if I get complimented, I get extra excited. I'm like, I got complimented.
Yeah.
And then somebody just comes up and compliments him. I'm
There-
like, well, fuck it.
There was all right. So we had gone to the hardware store. So
Oh,
we
Home Depot, yeah.
Home Depot.
Are we allowed to say that? I don't know.
And some lady says something to Liz
Oh,
about.
yeah, I was wearing my Cannibal Corpse shirt, of all things, and I got complimented on by this woman who worked in the paint department.
So
Nice.
excited.
And I was like, and I didn't realize she was talking to me at first because
Yep.
it never happens. And I was like, oh my God, thank you. And
Yeah.
then I go to tell him that, and he's like, yeah, I was just complimented on my sunglasses or
Glasses.
some shit. And I was
You
like,
bitch.
I was with you when you were
I was like, you
complimented.
didn't need to tell me you were complimented. You could have just been like, oh, that's wonderful. And then save for later until my high had come down. Oh, somebody complimented me with sunglasses. And then it wouldn't have been as bit of a, oh. Okay, so Jack, following up on his caramel latte, it's his version of a drink called a caramel kerplunk that uses chilled caramel sauce that makes a convection current.
Oh,
my
damn.
God! A convection current to drop the caramel to the bottom of the glass, hence the kerplunk aspect. Jack, why are you
that's
making
science.
drinks with science? Why are we doing?
Science.
Of course, Jack is making drinks using science.
That's great. So just really quick, going back to the whole compliment stories.
Yes.
I can think of maybe one time that Mr. Frodo was commented upon. I was walking him past a mother and her child, and the child goes, "It looks like the dog from Lady and the Tramp." The Tramp. Bobby.
He does though. He's a small tramp.
He is. He's probably bigger than the Tramp, honestly.
What was the tramp? A tramp was kind of big because it was bigger than the lady was the lady was maybe like a King Charles Cavalier.
Sure.
And the dog looked like one of those taller Scotty dogs.
I bet Fred
What?
would take him.
I wonder if anybody's Googled what breeds were Lady. I'm gonna Google it right now. You guys talk about some.
There's
things.
probably like a scientific paper
Talk-
on like the dogs of Lady and the
talk amongst
Tramp.
yourselves.
So
right?
Lady is a Cocker Spaniel, apparently.
Oh.
Oh man! All right.
Cocker Spaniel. Okay, I can see Cocker Spaniel because of the ears. Tramp is a mixed breed, often described as a mutt or terrier mix. So it's the terrier.
Yeah, okay, it's totally.
It's
Oh,
the
buddy.
terrier.
Wait! I can't show you this, but he's right behind me, and his leg is slightly up. It's adorable. I just took a picture.
He might have some giant Schnauzer or Irish Terrier in the mix. So, yeah, he'd be a little bit bigger than Frodo.
Welcome to the Hangover, guys. We have
Where
not.
we discuss the breeds of Lady and the Tramp and the accuracy.
We have done Spaceballs, Star Wars, Lady
Brandon
and the
did
Tramp.
have something for the Hangover that was going to be fun that I can't remember what it is at this point. And I really want to remember what it was. You had something for the Hangover for us. It was a fun.
Oh, the Father's Day.
The Father's Day thing.
Okay.
That's right.
I was about to say, we
I
gotta
was
start
going
writing
to
this
look
stuff
up the
down.
specific details, but I can give you the general brushstrokes here. So Liz has a face. She's going to.
He's
Oh.
so cute.
His little legs up.
He's so cute.
Anyway, Father's Day.
Anyway,
NPR.
so at least in this country, I don't know about the Catholic history in Europe,
Which
but in
is
this
on March
country,
18th.
this is, I believe, the 115th anniversary of Father's Day in the United States.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Well,
So
you
good
started in
for
1910?
you, fathers. You did it. Yeah.
Well, and that's because of a woman,
you inserted,
and it's because
and you were there to help out. Some of you.
Wow.
And Father's Day is thanks to a daughter. So I don't recall the name off the top of my head, but we can Google it and find out together later.
The Father's Day daughter.
But she lived in Oregon at the time.
Oh, what?
Yeah, 115 years ago. And the mother had died at a very early age, so the father had to raise, 3 or 4 X amount of kids. I don't recall how many there were. And then they went to like some kind of, I forget what it was. It was like a trial or something where the judge gave so much credence to the mother and how much well the mother did. We should celebrate the mother. But then afterwards, the daughter came up and said,
Sonora
"Hey,
Smart Dodd.
There we
Sonora
go.
Smart Dodd.
Sonora Dodd came
yeah.
by." And she came up to the judge or the representative, whatever it was, and said, "Hey, you know what? I appreciate it." Oh, it was a pastor. A pastor was giving a sermon. That's what it was. Came up to the pastor and said, "Hey, I appreciate what you said about the mothers, but I also think that the dads, and certainly some dads, like hers, for example, deserve all the credit they can get." So the next year, they gave a sermon about the dads, and it slowly grew from there. And in like 2 years later, it became a state holiday. And then like 8 or 10 years, the year after that, it became a federal holiday in Father's Day, or at least federally
Yeah.
recognized.
So not invented by Hallmark Card Company.
No.
But taken advantage of by.
Hallmark Card Company.
According to this AI overview,
Control Z. Control Z.
okay, so the first Father's Day was celebrated in Spokane, Washington in 1910. So her father was a Civil War veteran, and she was one of 6 children, and he was a single father. So mom must have died. Oh yeah, her mother died. So
Black lung,
yeah, so
measles.
I don't know.
Things that don't exist anymore.
I haven't delved that
The
deep.
Oregon Trail.
But yeah, so because her dad was raising them all by himself, she was like, "Hey, wait a minute, I don't have a mom. What about celebrating these guys, these fathers?" And I think it's a worthy thing because fathers deserve recognition because you help out. I would go insane if I had to deal with these animals by myself all the fucking time. When you go out of town, oh my god.
Well, that's why you're going with me the next trip.
And then it's thanks to my parents and Katie and Adam for wrangling
the next
our beasts.
2 big trips. Yeah, but then I can't take you to the other one because
That's fun. You know what? I never thought about the origins of Father's Day because
Yeah.
Now
What are the
seriously-
origins of Mother's Day?
Hallmark.
I gotta. Let's look up the origins of Mother's Day. Let's
I just
celebrate.
assumed-
Probably with like celebrating all the women who died during childbirth.
Oh well, yeah. I mean,
A lot of them.
God, that's a lot.
Especially before contraception.
Yeah.
Originated from the efforts, also from Google AI, so don't trust anything I'm saying right now. originated from the efforts of Anna Jarvis to honor her mother, Anne Reeves Jarvis.
Wait. So AI is talking about Mother's Day from someone named Jarvis? Let's just take a step back and consider this for a moment.
Anne Jarvis was a peace activist who worked to improve public health and organize women groups. After her mother's death in 1905, Anna Jarvis campaigned for National Mother's Day, eventually leading to its official recognition in 1914.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. When did Father's Day become official?
Oh, but ancient Greeks had festivals for Rhea, also a moon of Saturn, the
Rhea.
mother of gods, and Romans honored Cybele, a mother goddess. In 17th century Europe, Mothering Sunday was a day when people returned to their mother church and often presented their mothers with gifts.
Brandon's got a question or a comment.
Yes.
Well, finish yours up, and then I'll
okay.
after that.
Anna Jarvis organized Mother's Day work days to improve sanitation and health conditions, and later Mother's Friendship Day to reconcile families after the Civil War. Anna Jarvis later regretted the commercialization of Mother's Day as it strayed from her original vision of honoring mothers with heartfelt gestures. So I'm sorry, Mom, if you didn't think the aloe I got you for Mother's Day was not a heartfelt gesture. But it was, and I love you.
So if astronomers had a day, A, what would it be called? And B, what would it be celebrating?
Ooh, God.
The universe.
All things astronomers.
I mean, astronomers.
Astronomers Day.
Astronomers
Well,
run the
there's
gamut.
Astronomy Weekend, right?
Yeah, it's called Astronomy Day.
There's a National Astronomy Day.
Isn't it worldwide?
Is it worldwide?
I think it might
Like
be
Earth
worldwide.
Is Astronomy Day worldwide? Wait, let's make it like a federal holiday. Like, hey guys,
Okay,
you're gonna get a
Astronomers
day
Day.
off. You're
Let's
gonna get
see.
a day off.
What would a good Astronomers Day be?
I
I mean, it's all relative, honestly.
gotta rip it out. Yeah, that's physics, man. It's physics.
You know what? I don't know.
That's
Maybe like
tough.
December 25th. Around the winter.
Oh,
December 25th.
Federico got it. Hands down.
Oh, December 25th, Newton's birthday.
I think actually that's
Great
really good.
minds, Federico. Great minds.
That is
Although
really
I
good.
went with just a little bit like overshadowing Christ thing, and you went with the science approach.
I think what we ought to do is we have a birthday for Copernicus. He moved the sun.
He
Yeah.
moved the sun. Technically, he never moved the sun because it's always been in the same fucking place.
Well, yeah.
No, but that line though, that's heavy. He moved the sun. I never thought of it that way.
He did. Yeah. Where did he move for?
What?
Never mind.
He moved the sun.
He moved the sun.
Kepler
Moved the heavens.
figured out the planets.
Oh,
He figured
I
out
have a tangent after this.
Kepler figured out the planets. Galileo saw the universe. Newton understood
But,
the universe.
you know-
and so I think
And then William and Caroline Herschel drew the universe.
yeah. I
Hey.
mean, so what I'm thinking is we celebrate all of their birthdays. So basically,
It's just so many birthdays.
so
Is it like President's
exactly.
Day when we wrap it all into a single day?
But that's
No,
what the point is.
no, we celebrate them all individually.
But technically,
You know, I can buck for
Galileo, not an astronomer.
What?
Newton, not an astronomer.
Wait. Galileo, how is he not an astronomer?
No,
he
she
literally
didn't
was the
say-
first
she
one to
said
look
Newton.
at it.
Didn't you
Yeah,
say Newton?
and Galileo,
Newton-
technically.
Newton invented the Newtonian telescope.
Yeah.
What's our definition of astronomer that we want to go for astronomy?
Oh,
Day?
that's actually a really good question.
Because if you think about during the scientific revolution, during Galileo, during Newton, you had these people that were mathematicians, they're astronomers, they're in our modern day sense,
I feel like
it's like they do a whole breadth of the sciences.
I can guarantee there's an actual definition, which I'm sure the kind folks in chat will tell me about.
It'll be a
But it
modern
feels like
definition.
if you have studied or applied theories to objects in the sky, that makes you an astronomer.
I would posit, I would contend
Yes.
that if we were to have an astronomy day or a federal holiday celebrating advances in astronomy and our view on the universe,
It's got to be called something cooler rather than Astronomy Day. We got to figure that out.
Yeah, okay. But for the time being, I would say it would be on the date that Galileo observed through his telescope, like the moon's orbiting Jupiter or whatever.
So January.
So basically,
January 10th.
January 10th, because that is what then helped to, get us out of the whole Earth at the center of the solar system thing and allow for, even though more people thought of this at the time, that is what just was we can move on into the scientific revolution. And then all these.
Yeah, I like that. The thing is
it wasn't just a thought.
The reason why I was thinking a Copernicus Day, a Galileo Day, a Newton Day is because if you go to New Zealand, they have a scientist on their money. They have the dude who went up Mount Everest on their money. Mm-hmm. They don't have dead presidents on their money.
Yeah.
And so in New Zealand, they're looking at these are people who contributed to
the benefit of the world as a whole.
Yeah, and so I feel like, if we have Copernicus Day, an Einstein Day, whatever, Vera Rubin Day, then it just is always in the forefront. And it shows that for our society, our culture, we put knowledge above.
Also, Canada has the Canada arm on the ISS and their money.
Yes.
Right, and so we put a bunch of dead fuckers on our not that some of these guys aren't dead on New Zealand money, but it shows what's important. Was it Chadwick or whatever, whoever it was that is from New Zealand is on a physicist is on their money. Yeah. Meanwhile, we're arguing about put Trump on money.
Yeah. No. Never. I would never use the money. I'd use money anyway. But I would say the only problem with your ask, though, for federal holidays in this hypothetical scenario is that they're not American, which is a problem because our federal holidays have to be. So maybe Edwin Hubble,
No. If we actually recognize that people outside of the country contributed to our knowledge base.
We're American. We don't fucking do that. Only Americans discover the American things and the things we live by.
I'm just saying, if we take a holistic look, let's say it's a worldwide holiday.
That would be
this
wonderful.
Moment, this one day.
You said federal, so I'm just being realistic.
I did say federal. You're correct.
I'm being realistic. A federal holiday.
Do we have a holiday that's not
What about
Christmas?
when the ISS launched?
No, I do like when Copernicus, the day Copernicus officially published his revolutions. That's it. That's the day it should be.
Yeah, but I don't know.
Copernicus.
That's the moment
I said Galileo.
We stepped out of the shadow of Aristotle and expanded our worlds.
No, because people have been saying that shit before Copernicus. If you started reading Chasing the Sun. There's many cultures, so that's why I was saying Galileo only for the observational aspect of observational astronomy.
Well, to that point, then there are also some cultures that said if you look really close at Saturn, you can see hooks around it.
You can't see that with your
naked you
fucking
absolutely
eyes.
cannot. You absolutely cannot. But there's some cultures that have said that.
Yeah,
you
but
can.
you needed the observational tool.
All right, but here's the thing. Here's the thing, though. If you're setting a federal holiday, 99% of the people are not going to know that January 10th is when Galileo, January 9th or 10th is when Galileo.
But that's what the date is for.
Yes, but you also want to make it that is more than Galileo.
Well, yeah, but it's like a science.
Yeah.
Federal.
So it's a specific date because of this moment, but then it celebrates all the accomplishments. Because yes, I would love to celebrate the histories, the dates, the birthdays, but that's unfeasible.
So we don't call it Copernicus Day. You don't call it Galileo Day.
Oh no!
But you do pick a date that whatever. You pick a date.
You call it the Big Bang and see what happens.
Oh God!
Oh, that's a good
You know
day.
the thing is, The thing is,
Maybe
though,
it's just on Vera Rubin's birthday every day.
yeah, she can't get the Nobel
Celebrate
Prize.
all
but
of
she gets-
science on
I'm good with
Vera
that.
Rubin's birthday.
But the thing is, I think that the religious right,
In America.
the young Earth
In
creationists
America. Well, okay, no, everywhere.
would be all about having a Big Bang holiday, not because they believe it, but because it gives them
That's when
a
God,
chance
that's
every
when
year
God
to
fucked the
bitch
universe
about
into
it.
existence.
Yes.
It was the Big Bang. It was God's Big Bang.
And this is why I believe institutions that have a voice and can contribute to vocalizing thoughts to thousands of people, millions of people a year, should take that platform and explain science communication to individuals.
Federico says 13th of March of 1610 was when Galileo published The Starry Messenger, Sidereus.
The
Nuncius
Starry Messenger. That's a good name.
March. Do we have too many holidays? What holidays do we have in March? Anything?
I don't think we have enough holidays.
St. Patrick's Day.
We don't have enough holidays.
We don't have enough.
In fact, it
That's
should
not a federal
be
holiday, though.
every day should be a holiday, and just occasionally
Every
you
day.
work
Every
and
day.
you celebrate like, oh, I get to work today.
Well, Italians have it correct. You work a little bit, then you take like a fucking 3-hour ass like nap and lunch and shit, and then you work a little bit more, and then you got dinner and the rest of your evening.
Yeah.
That is my interpretation of your Italian life, Federico.
And then they take like all of August off. I mean, he's gonna take like in a month and a half.
Isn't
he's
it
gonna
also
take,
the
like,
Germans?
a
They
month
have
off.
like a month they can take. They can
Yeah.
take
I
a
mean,
whole fucking month.
One of my goals in the next few years is when he has time off to go visit him in his hometown in Italy, because he's shown me pictures. It is
I'm
gorgeous.
sure it's gorgeous.
Yeah.
I desperately want to see that.
I'm sure it's
and
gorgeous
and to hang out with
and
Federico for a
historic.
couple of days, it'd be
But-
great. I would
Yeah.
love that.
He's like not too far from the border. Where's he?
No, he's up north. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
What? Hey, Federico. What? You're not too
I have-
far.
I have
what,
an idea
What
of
do you
town he's
border?
in.
Yeah, we don't need him to disclose his location.
I'm not asking him to disclose.
Give
his
me the
location.
latitude and longitude and
no.
specific time.
Excuse
I.
me.
Okay.
I got
Rib time.
I got ribs.
It's rip time.
Got ribs. All right, go. All right, no, I am just asking what country is near his
All
where
really
he
quick.
lives.
And it's you and me, Mike.
Okay.
Let's talk for a moment. How great Liz is. Liz is the fucking best. I'm so happy. But when she comes back, we can see like how disappointed we are.
Oh, I agree with you a trillion %, even though that's not a thing. Slovenia, that's it. Yeah. I completely agree with you. And I'm very happy with that. But yes, yes, I am. There's some disappointment that is happening right now. So.
Wait. Joyce wrote Ulysses in your. Well, I didn't know that.
You didn't know that James Joyce wrote. You
In
didn't know that?
Trieste? No, I had a whole fucking 30-page paper on Ulysses, and I didn't know he wrote that. And that's damn, that's cool.
You had a 30-page thing that
Yes.
you wrote, and
About specifically Ulysses.
you don't know who wrote it.
Oh no, that he wrote it in where Joyce wrote Ulysses. So Trieste. I don't know if I'm
okay.
saying that wrong. I apologize.
Got you. Yes. Oh, yeah. I didn't know.
Oh no, I love the idea that I wrote the 30-page paper on Ulysses and didn't know who wrote it. I love that idea.
But Boltzmann died there as well.
That's a good one.
Stephen Boltzmann.
Okay, so I definitely need to visit you, Federico.
Oh, Jesus.
I would love that.
Wow. All right. Yeah, but I don't ever get the invite to go to that little Italian town, and I have Italian in me.
I shouldn't do this. Okay, I shouldn't do this, but I'm going. So this is specifically to Federico. When I was in Prague last week, I had what I thought was a very good Italian meal, but I was told you got in an argument with the owner of that restaurant based off of what was Italian food. And I just I would love to unpack that a little bit and chat and figure out why
Okay.
I don't know what it was.
Okay. Hold on. I think that we have to wait for Liz to come back for this. But
All right, but Federico will be type up his response and he'll be ready to go.
what is the
Like the food,
restaurant?
oh my God, he'll know what it is. It was right across the way from hashtag Mama Shelter, and it was one of the places that
Why
Brian
did you
frequented.
hashtag it?
Hash, yeah. Oh, Federico knows. Yes, that's the one. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
All right.
And I got the special of the day, and it was a clam pasta, and I thought it was delightful. Um,
Oh,
I
but
just want to know.
clam pasta sounds really good.
Well, so some of the clams, based off the discussion on the table, like if they're not slightly open, if they're still closed, they're not buddy. If the clams are still closed, you don't eat them. So there was like 5 or 6 clams that were closed. I had to throw away. But now I'm just interested in Federico's response.
So why did they not pull those clams out?
I don't know. We'll have
Alright.
to ask them.
I guess we gotta go back to Prague.
If I must.
Well, I think that we should do Cosmos from Prague, and so it'll be me, you, and Liz, and we'll go now that she can travel internationally.
I mean, I'll message you after this, but yes.
Okay. Oh man, I feel like I'm going to have enough miles to go to New Zealand here pretty soon. The way it's going.
Oh, okay. So Federico sounds delicious. Excellent. All we need. So one of our colleagues had mentioned this and said they blew up into a hill thing. So
Oh, so there was no drama.
excellent. Excellent. That's all we need to know. This isn't here, but I know we're coming up on the 2 hour mark. So this was a fantastic episode. I was very happy with it. I loved talking about Zwicky.
Yeah, he's
If you had to make a top 5 favorite astronomers, Zwicky would very likely make it.
yeah. I agree. He's just yeah.
No, so like Newton, for example, was an extraordinarily unique individual.
Right, but
Even
but Liz has a good point. How do you define astronomer, and is Newton an astronomer, or is Newton a physicist, a classical physicist, no pun intended?
and this is one thing we did not touch upon in the main episode is that Fritz Zwicky was, if not the first, one of the first astrophysicists to exist. He
Yeah.
combined astronomy and physics together. So you're right in that Newton, he just explained things, but didn't quite meld it together.
Right. And so, like that would be like if you're going to define Newton as an astronomer, which I don't think he is, by the way.
I no,
Then
maybe one of his, listings could be astronomy.
yeah, so then you could say because of black holes or gravitational lensing that Einstein is an astronomer, which I don't think he is. He's a physicist. In
Oh
fact,
no, I would not consider Einstein an astronomer
in fact,
whatsoever.
Einstein is a classical physicist just like Newton. He's in the same vein because even though Einstein wins the Nobel Prize for a quantum physics description of something, he doesn't like quantum physics, and he felt that he could combine.
Why is that? What does God not play?
He does not play dice. He does, yeah. But not only does God play dice, sometimes he does not know where he threw the dice.
And he doesn't fucking win all the time either.
He doesn't. So, it's like, yeah. So I think we need to define what an astronomer is, and I know there's probably a definition, and that definition probably goes anything outside the Earth's atmosphere.
But at the same time, like Einstein revolutionized astronomy, but I would not consider Einstein an astronomer whatsoever.
No, because his theory is a theory of gravity, which inherently involves.
It's similar to I don't know if this is correct, but I've had drinks. If you think of an artist, an Italian Michelangelo, any like phenomenal painter, it's like the person that invented the paintbrush, calling them an artist, right? Like Einstein, Newton gave them the tools to go make their arts. Is what happens. Is that wrong? Think about it for a second.
Einstein,
I think that may be bullshit. That
No.
may be bullshit.
Hold on. Einstein and Newton gave them the tools to
Gave
make their art.
astronomers the tool to make art.
No, I
To
agree
make
with
those
that.
discoveries.
I
Okay.
agree with that because it's not like Zwicky dreamt up gravitational lensing. He didn't dream it up. Hold on, she's back.
Oh, Liz. Okay, 1 second.
All right, so
1 second. Get the headphones on. Get the headphones on.
Yes.
Get the headphones on.
Well, she's getting it on. Hold on. So I got to
Liz,
finish
you
this
missed
thought.
a lot.
I'm here.
It was a one-sided conversation that she heard. So, like, with Zwicky, he would not have dreamt up gravitational lensing in any kind of way. He based it all on Einstein.
Yeah.
So Einstein, like you said, gave them the tools to create the art that they did. So I actually really do like that analogy.
Yeah. So Liz, we were talking and said that Einstein and Newton gave astronomers the paintbrush to paint the universe, to create. They made the tools to discover the universe.
That was
So that's where we're at.
That was
I'm
such
sorry.
a.
I saw cheese in the chat, and my focus was immediately to what are we not putting cheese on? No cheese on fish. I can agree with that.
Okay,
I've never
okay,
heard
but
about cheese on fish.
I do make a really good blueberry cheese salmon, and
You
I'm
do?
gonna stick by
I
that.
never put cheese on that. Your blueberry
No, trust
salmon?
me, trust. Blueberry salmon, but I added some things I've discovered. Adding some cheese on there was pretty fucking good.
Okay, all right. What kind of cheese though?
I don't remember.
Oh, okay.
Is it blue cheese?
All right.
No.
Blue cheese.
No.
Cappuccino after 11 a.m. Get
I
the
agree.
fuck out of here.
I agree with that.
Get out of here.
Wait a minute, what's happening?
Federico, no cappuccino after 11 a.m. Americans run on caffeine. I don't know what you're fucking doing.
I
but I
don't-
would like some spaghetti e vongole.
You know what?
Spaghetti e vongole. I apologize to all of Italy right now.
No, you apologize, Federico.
I apologize to you, Federico, but I will not stop. I will not stop.
Can't stop, won't stop.
Oh, 1 p.m.?
Oh, yeah. Oh, well, I mean, we don't have really like, I mean, we get some coffee.
Yeah,
I
but, like,
usually
I
drink one
don't-
coffee a day, and it's in the morning, so.
I don't think I've ever had a cappuccino after 12. I don't
usually
think
have-
I've ever done that.
Technically, I don't
you
usually
get all,
have
like,
cappuccinos
jittery and
anyway.
shit, don't you?
Oh, yeah, caffeine hits me hard.
Oh, see, caffeine.
So
doesn't
I
really
know
do
my
a lot
limits.
to
Ca-
me that I
caffeine,
notice.
at this point in my life, caffeine just makes me sleepy. I gotta figure
love-
something out.
Like
Why
I
do you
want to
buy all
have
those
I want to
fucking
have a nice
energy
dinner.
drinks?
because it's the hope. It is
Try
the
some
hope
coffee.
that
Try
this will be
some
different.
coffee.
I would love to have a nice
Caffeine
dinner
is caffeine.
and have an espresso afterwards and fall asleep like the Italians or the Spaniards. I cannot do that. If I have a espresso after dinner, I'm up until God knows when.
Really? No, I could sleep.
What?
I said no. I said really no. I could sleep.
Yeah. All right. So
What we got?
top 5 astronomers. You said. Well, all right, how are we defining astronomy?
espresso is okay after dinner. The issue is
Yeah,
the
well, yeah.
milkiness.
That makes
All
complete
right.
sense.
All right.
Ready. All right. So my guy here is acting up.
Frodo.
So I'm gonna have to end it soon.
All right. So
Okay.
2 weeks. I guess this is it, guys. So in 2 weeks, we're gonna talk about what's up in July, right?
July.
Are you kidding me? It is. We're halfway through June. We're halfway
we're
through
almost
the
at
year.
Start thinking about Christmas
All right,
presents,
buddy.
folks.
Thank you.
It's coming up. We gotta start thinking about Halloween.
You know what? My Christmas
coming
gift
up.
to you is a flight to the UK.
Okay, that's fine.
Hi, buddy.
And your Christmas gift to
come
me.
here.
Oh, post-protest sushi with the drag queens. Bye, Jack.
Wait a minute. What?
Tell all the
Oh.
drag queens we love them. We
Yes.
don't know them, but we love them. And
Happy Pride.
Happy Pride, Happy Father's
Happy
Day,
Pride.
Happy Drag Father's Day. I don't know. Is Drag Father a thing? Probably not. That doesn't seem like a thing.
The drag father. I like that.
Drag Father. The drag.
Ow.
Anyway, we will
Drag
be
mothers.
Oh, it's out.
drag mothers. Well, yeah, there's drag mothers. We will be possibly alternating an episode at the end of
August.
July.
Yes, end of
At
August.
the end of July.
I'm sorry, end of July. End of July.
End of July. Due to
Drag
travel
King.
that we will be on because we will be on assignment for once. Ha ha ha.
Yes.
But we will talk about that during our next episode in 2 weeks, High in the Sky for July. Anyway, thanks for joining us, everybody. Celebrate astronomers all day, all the time. You know, hashtag no kings and all that shit in America.
Every day is Astronomy Day, guys.
Every day is Astronomy Day. Look at that face.
Cheers.
Look at that face. Bye, everybody.
We'll see you in 2 weeks.
See ya in
Say goodbye, Leia. Leia,
weeks.
quickly,
I have to
say
find
goodbye.
where my mouse is so I can end the stream. Good.
Bye.
Bye.
Why did Brandon disappear?
My headphones were taken away